Greetings and welcome to Miles More Motivation, the show that's designed to give you more happiness, fulfillment, and obviously more motivation. In this episode, we're going to talk about being more disciplined. How do you get more disciplined if you feel unmotivated? If at any point right now you're feeling, we're still in this kind of lockdown at the time of doing this video live, you feel your motivation's waning off, you're not training as hard as you were, you're dying for the gyms to reopen, I don't know, maybe your business, you're kind of not working on that project you need to work on. In this video I'm going to share with you 3 common sense but not necessarily common practice ways that you can get more disciplined. Before I do, I want to kind of give you almost like an anecdote from when I deliver seminars around the country. When I'm not at home, when I'm not in the studio recording videos, I'm generally, when the world allows us to, out on the road delivering seminars all around the country. And I often do this piece to kind of check in with people in terms of their discipline and their motivation. And I'm going to say to you now, I say, imagine that we're in a room together, and I say, imagine that we have a plank of wood down the floor in the middle of this room. How many people here would be willing to walk the plank, knowing that at the end of walking the plank, I'm going to give you £10. There's no nails in it, it's not a trick question, it's not going to break on you, it's not going to get you splinters in your feet, you can walk across it with your shoes. It is literally a plank of wood. How many here would be willing to walk the plank? And obviously everyone in the room puts their hand up. I then say, okay, let's change things up a little bit, let's move this plank of wood to somewhere a little bit more scary. We're going to move it to the top of 2 skyscrapers, right? And there's going to be wind, there's going to be rain, there's going to be hailstones, there's going to be thunder and lightning, and I'm going to take away the £10. How many of you now are willing to attempt to cross the plank of wood? All the hands stay down. I go, okay, obviously I knew you were going to say no to that unless you're a daredevil. But I say, imagine now that we have the same conditions at the top of those 2 skyscrapers, and now you're up there and you're with your closest family. Kids, if you've got kids, parents, closest people, best friends, everybody that is closest to you, huddled together in this storm at the top of this tower, plank of wood going across to the other side. And you've been told that there are terrorists in the building that you're in, and they are killing everyone in sight. They're heading up in the tower that you're in, armed gunmen killing everyone in sight. You literally don't have a weapon, so you're kind of in a scenario where you stay and take on the gunmen, or you attempt to cross this plank of wood and make it to safety. I say, how many of you now would attempt to cross the plank? The hands kind of slowly creep up. And I ask the question, what changed? And the thing that changed is motive, is the reason why. And you see, most people's problem with discipline is they don't have a deep enough motive. Now, thankfully, we don't have situations like that, extreme situations like that. But I truly believe in what the great man and mentor of mine, Tony Robbins, says, which is reasons come first, answers come second. So many people think about how am I going to get over this plank of wood? How am I going to get across when there's thunder and lightning? But you see, the difference when I added in the family, the closest people to you, and the terrorists, is your focus was not on how, it was more on why. Well, I need to get across because otherwise we could die. And your reason was so great that you were willing to go and attempt to cross that plank of wood. So in this video, I'll share with you 3 simple ways to help you to be more disciplined so that you can have more motivation and take more of the action that you feel is necessary in your life. First thing that you want to consider if you want to be more disciplined is you want to do what I call the 20 whys. What this means is you want to pick an area of your life right now where you need to be more disciplined. Maybe it's your diet. Maybe it's your health and fitness. I don't know which area it is. Maybe it's your business. There's certain business actions you need to do. And what you want to do is you want to write down on a plain piece of white paper 20 reasons why that goal is important to you. So let's say you go, I want to eat better. Okay? 20 reasons why you want to eat better. I want to be an example to my kids, to be a role model, to feel better, to have more energy, to have better skin, to lose weight, because it will give me more confidence. You want to come up with 20 Now I challenge this with my clients, and sometimes they're like, oh, I got to 12 and couldn't think of any more. It's 12 more than 0, right? It's 12 more than 0. Most people's problem when it comes to being more disciplined is they go straight to how rather than why. And if you can come up with 20 reasons why to do anything, it would put it through almost like an audit to check that that's the thing you want to do. If you can't come up with more than 3 or 4 reasons, it's probably not important to you. And you might want to reconsider whether that thing should be done at all. But if it's something like health and fitness, and you know it's good for you, then I'm challenging you to come up with 20 reasons, because that will give you some real motivation to be more disciplined. Next, to help with this, you need what I call non-negotiable accountability. So it's all well and good writing down your 20 reasons. You need non-negotiable accountability. What do I mean by non-negotiable? Well, a lot of people, what they do when they get accountability is they just pick a friend. They just pick a mate. You know, oh yeah, we're going to go running together. And then one day the mate gets sick, or one day the mate doesn't want to run today. And all of a sudden, the accountability's gone. So the person in question doesn't go for a run. You need non-negotiable accountability. So my recommendation, so for example, you know, kind of shameless plug, one of the things I do for my coaching clients is give them non-negotiable accountability. I get them to tell me the 20 reasons why they want to work on a goal. So let's say they say, I want to be more consistent with my workouts. I go, okay, cool. Why do you want to do that? Give me your 20 reasons. They send me their 20 reasons, and then I give them non-negotiable accountability. I say, okay, Trudy, you said you're going to work out at 10 a.m. every morning, 6 days a week. I want a text message from you at the end of every workout for the foreseeable future, until I feel, and you feel, that it's a habit and you're working out, you know, kind of, you know, when the habit's in, when Trudy, just as an example, is working out 3, 4, 5 weeks and has gone, oh, I forgot to text Miles, but she's still working out, right? That is what we mean by non-negotiable accountability. Really important. And the last thing is you want to do what we call habit modeling. Habit modeling is really powerful. I had a conversation with a client the other day who's really, really consistent. She's really disciplined with drinking water. Like, really impressive. Like, she puts flavors in there, and she's got great strategies, like, you know, carry like a BPA free kind of metal water bottle with her everywhere, fill it to the brim. She knows that if she drinks 5 of those in a day, she's met her water quota. Really, really cool, simple habits. But there's another area of her life, her business, where she's not following through, she's not doing as well. And I said, well, if you were to kind of teach someone 3 strategies or tips how to be more disciplined with water, what would they be? So she shared with me this and this and this. I go, okay, how can we model that across to your business? She said, well, you know, I'd need to schedule things. I'd need reminders on my phone. I'd need something there to keep it so that it's, you know, it's visual in front of me, like my goals on the wall. And so anyway, it turned out as a result of doing that process, we could really help her to get her momentum back in her business. So what you want to do is think about, what is an area of your life where you're doing really well, where you're really consistent? Maybe you're like, well, I'm really good with my health, but I'm not really good with my nutrition. Why are you so good with your health? Well, I leave my trainers at the door. Okay, cool. How can we model that in health? Oh, maybe I could prepare my meals in advance. There you go. So that's an example of looking at the areas where you're doing well, looking at the areas where your habits are disciplined and consistent, and modeling them across can be a really powerful way for you to be more disciplined in other areas too. That's it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, feel free to book yourself in for a coaching call. There should be a link somewhere underneath the video. This coaching call is worth £300. It's the same coaching that I deliver to people that are in shows such as X Factor, Hollywood movies, and MMA fighters as well, and CEOs of multinationals and a range of other people too. So other than that, hit like, hit share, get yourself booked in for a coaching call. I hope you've enjoyed this session. Miles more motivated.